What's wrong? Hey, Tasha.
Good evening, Sharon. How are you?
Man, look at you. I got to sit there and let you remind you we are live. Can I do cheers to you, though? Cheers to you. I'm counting you out because you're doing awesome things. You're supposed to drink. You're supposed to drink on the...
Oh yeah, right. Cheers. Salute.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
All in.
This will be the first chat that this will be the second chat that we've actually had drinks with. I was thinking earlier, I was like, maybe we should drink at all of our chats. There are some that are more,
appropriate. Yes. Talking about with the breast surgeon, Dr. Francis Williams, which was a great chat last week. Probably didn't need us to be drinking.
Although Doc was keeping it real, I think she would have been on board for a little less. I'm just saying.
Well, I just want to say good evening to everybody tonight. I am Sharon.
Oh, and I'm Tasha. I'm in Maryland.
And I'm in North Carolina.
I've been trying to start my watch party.
I know, but we gotta do some things first. So we gotta do
Okay.
Yeah, okay. We are the accountability queens. And what we do is we come together. We've been accountability partners for 9 years. And what we do is we come together and we help, particularly women, but anyone, identify their ultimate accountability partner and help them achieve goals, as Tasha has helped me and I have helped her over these years. And the big misconception to folks is that it's all about money and like, oh, we're just trying to help people get up the ladder and make more money. No, it's all for us. It is about your health. It's about your relationships. It's about your spirituality. It's about all kinds of things. If my accountability partner will ever look up again and possibly join me in this conversation, really what is going on? Seriously.
I don't have it together tonight, but I am watching the comments. And so if you are joining us tonight, please, I want to give you a shout out. Let me know where you're joining us from. I do see that Jazz is on. Of course, to be early is to be on time. I knew she'd be here this evening.
Amen.
Supporting her best friend. So hey, Jazz.
Hey, Jazz. And so let's talk about accountability this week, shall we?
Yes. So, as we're preparing for this, we're like, well, what are we going to talk about? And I said something to Sharon, and she's like, did I do that for you? And I was like, actually, you do it for me every day. But this week, what I wanted to share was, just in full transparency, like I am the hardest person on myself.
Yes.
I would say maybe sometimes to my detriment.
Yes.
She said yes.
Yes, I'll go with that.
But I do believe in shooting for the moon and you'll end up in, amongst the stars. And
right.
So, I'm in grad school. I want straight A's. That's what I'm shooting for. Like, I don't want to strive to get a B in the class. It's just not what I do. Right. And so just with everything in life, I'm striving for the highest and the best. And I do have a lot going on. And sometimes it can get hard. And I'm so hard on myself. It's really nice to have someone that says, Tasha, it's okay. Right?
I mean, listen, and you do it for me. But what's also funny is that, you and I talked this morning and there was a grade that you find to be questionable. And Tasha is ever the perfectionist. But I went to we talked about being an adult student being a younger student. Nah, Tasha, what? So here's what happened. Wrong. Something is wrong.
Something's wrong. This can't be. So let's just talk about it right now. I'm not going to accept this. Like,
no, but it's beyond that, right? It's beyond that. And I was like, man, if this professor don't watch out, you gonna be, Tasha D gonna be talking to the dean.
See, that's like my alter ego, Tasha D, right?
Tasha D, the alter ego, will be talking to the dean. And what did you tell me, Tasha?
I already have a meeting scheduled.
We're not playing no games when it comes to our education.
No games.
It's not.
Striving for the highest and the best, right?
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Everybody on board with this. So
It's not happening.
But I do appreciate you. I had a hiccup in Peyton's support for school.
Yeah.
The young lady got another job, which I'm very happy about. But it left us in a very sticky situation at the last minute. And so it's just an extra stress that I really don't need. But we have been gracious on ourselves, I'll say, because it's definitely a family impacting. It's not just me.
Absolutely.
And so, as a family, we have been gracious, and her teachers have also been gracious. And so I appreciate them. And I appreciate my family stepping up. My brother is going to support us. Shout out to Uncle Keith, who's always coming through.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah. How about you? What was good for you this week?
I am going to say what was good for me was reflecting back to what Dr. Carolyn Howell said about giving each other grace. And you and I have acknowledged that, by and large, we've been okay through this COVID experience, but there's a lot happening in the world. There's a lot happening in our lives, and we're trying to maintain. And you and I work together. You and I talk to each other every day, multiple times a day. Inevitably, we are going to be the two people who see it in each other, right? Because we spend just that kind of amount of time together. And so when she said giving each other grace, right? And then you and I had a conversation, and I was like, man, this is the first time I've laughed in a really long time. And I needed that laugh, which led us to having a girlfriend's kiki last night, which we absolutely needed, which was absolutely fantastic. And it was, so shout out to all the fam and the squad last night. Had a great time with you all, and I couldn't exist mentally in a healthy space without you guys, for real.
Yeah, I think just like they say, you have to cry sometimes.
Yeah.
You also need to laugh sometimes. So I give it a watch party. It's not working for me right now.
Okay, so it's just not me, because it's not working for me.
Tonight. We'll just have to, share it afterwards. But
it's just not me.
Yeah, it's not just you. I'm still watching the comments. Let me know where you guys are watching from, so I can shout you out. And please, as we bring our guest in, if you have questions for her, drop them in the comments and we'll share them. Please
do. And so tonight we have a really fun, it's going to be a really fun conversation. We have author Bianca Williams, who is award-winning, exactly. Let the queen correct that crown on her head, okay? Right. She is an award-winning author, of a trilogy, okay? 3 series. That is, of course, what trilogy means. Books. Author Bianca Williams is joining us. Come on, Bianca. How are you, Bianca?
Hello, ladies. I'm well. How are you?
I'm great.
Listen, we're having a great time. We're just going to shed light and shed love, and that's what we're going to do.
Good.
So, Bianca.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Where are we talking to you tonight? Where are you this evening?
I am home, downtown Baltimore.
Okay. Wonderful. All right, Bianca, let's get into it.
All right.
This is a trilogy.
It is.
How did you come to write, and in a short amount of time too?
Yes.
Like, because when I think about Maxwell, right? Okay, I'm a Maxwell fan.
He still owes us.
I mean, right? Right? Because he goes years, and we're like, we still on that hang suite, and it was so you kind of turned things around in a fairly quick time. Tell us about your approach and how you came to writing 3 books.
I do. So I will say I've always wanted to write, but I didn't have a story. So, and just like Maxwell says, he had to stop. He had to go live a little. He had to go experience some things. So it's kind of the same thing. You live, you have some experiences, and then I went through this breakup. Right? It was actually through trauma where I had this epiphany And I won't lie, in the beginning, I was fueled by anger. So
yeah,
I was. It was the anger and the frustration. And I had this story and I just had to get it out. So I got the first book written over 80,000 words in like 6 months. And then the second book, I just like cranked it out. And then the third book, I actually started it prior to COVID, but during this time of stillness, I was just like, you know what, this will be a good time to go ahead and finish this series. Yeah.
Man, talk about therapy.
Right?
That was the true therapy that's going to listen.
That's what I was saying.
You back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was cathartic. It was therapeutic.
Very, very, very cathartic. And like I said, I had to get that. The story was in me and I had to get it out. And I won't lie. Part of me was like, I want you to know how I really felt, right? In the beginning, I was just like, this is my letter to you.
Okay.
Story on paper. And then once you start writing, that whole creative piece starts developing, right? And then you remember, like in college, you took your creative writing classes and you're like, oh yeah, I always wanted to do this. And that's how it became truly a work of fiction inspired by true events.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So it's inspired by true events. Like how closely related is it to your real life?
I will say most of the relationships are very real. Like the relationships in the characters' relationships, like as you know, like my best friend, Jasmine, if you read the book and you see how Bryn and Jen kind of like always go back and forth and Jen is always keeping it real, you know, that relationship is very real and translates to the book. But again, Jen's character is inspired. She's always inspired by true events. But I would say it is loosely based, but it's fairly close.
So I've got a question. You said it was like your letter to let that brother know, you know, my question is, has he read it and does he know it was about him?
I will say that in the beginning, I was not going to let him know about it. And one of my friends read a draft right before the first book came out. And she said, oh my God, you got to tell him. He has to read this. And I was like, you think so? And she was like, most definitely. And so I said, okay. So I contacted him. I hadn't talked to him in a very long time. And I was like, I have to tell you something. Are you in town? And he was like, no, but I'll be back. I said, okay, call me when you get back in town. So I went and picked him up. And I was like, I'm treating you to ice cream. Come on. And I took him to go get some ice cream. And I was just like, I have something to share with you. And
okay, that's what every brother wants to hear. I can't tell you till you come back. I gotta go get ice cream.
Yes. I gave him the book and he's looking at it like, what is this? And I was just like, you know, it's my story. And I was just like, I want you to read it. And so he's like holding his like shock and horror at the same time. Like he looked like all the blood had left like his face. Like, what is this? And the whole time he's reading it, I'm getting these text messages like, all kinds of crazy text messages. I think he had mixed feelings about it. I don't know if he read book 2.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But I know the first book, he definitely didn't like the character that was inspired by him.
Oh, man. Well.
But everybody loves Shane, right? Everybody loves Shane. Everybody's like, you know, yes, he's a wild card, but he's a great character. So
nice. So tell us, you know, our topic tonight is about, you know, your career and your passion, right? Yeah. Tell us about both sides of your life. Like, what do you do maybe from 9 to 5?
Yeah. So from 9 to 5, I'm a director of finance. So I had a lot of responsibility. You know, you got the month-end close, you got audits, and I'm a government contractor, so I had incurred cost submissions. So I have a lot of responsibility at work. In addition to that, around the time I was writing the book, Jasmine and I were still planning events. We were doing the events. We were doing football camps. I mean, because I remember like after I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning, doing like the collage for the football camp and the graduation, I was writing. So
Wow.
I mean, I was doing the full-time 9 to 5. I was doing the event planning on the side and writing.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Wow. And so that's very interesting because one, to be a director of finance, right, and just the numbers, and that's a huge responsibility, and it's very analytical.
Yes.
Right? And writing a book, completely creative.
Yes.
And then you are planning events.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, you're a mom.
Yes. Yes.
So, and this is what we like to talk about with women because we take on so much, right? Particularly Black women, because we have a lot on our just in the world, in life, and how we carry things and what we're responsible for and what we have to project or be mindful not to project, right?
Yeah.
There's, particularly when we're in the business world, right? I mean, that is it's the duality that we live. And so what inspired you or what encouraged you to say, you know what, I got all these responsibilities, but I'm still going to step out and do this for myself?
Yeah. I think back to the point where we said it was very cathartic. Because I was going through so much at that time, and I was a hot mess. I mean, at work, where I was a director of finance, I was in my office doing the ugly cry, right? On my way to the office and back home, I'm doing the ugly cry because when I pick my daughter up, you know, I got to be strong. She can't see me cry. Oh, you know, you put the smile on, you're taking her to dance class, you're cooking dinner, right? And you're like, everything is fine. And then when she goes to sleep, you know, you start crying.
Yeah.
So I think that with the book, I was just able like to put all of that crazy energy just into it. And I think it helped bring that balance. Like you say, at work as a director of finance, I'm 100% analytical, right? The event planning, although I do it well, still, you know, Jasmine would be the visionary. She would be like the brains of it, and I would make it happen, right? I'm still in the background. I'm still
for sure,
operations, which is still it's still very close to what I do at work. But with writing, that's where you get that whole creative side, and then it was able to bring that balance. And my daughter, she's always been number one. You know, she's always come first, and so it's just like after work, daughter, and then as she got older, you know, we would involve her in the event planning. And then I would have my time where it's like, mommy needs this time to write. And a lot of times it would be like either when she's in dance class or when she was asleep. But yeah, it was all just about balance.
Wow. I think it's just really amazing because I don't feel like I have a very creative side. And so I do feel like I'm that analytical person from 12 to 12, right? And so, you know, it's amazing to me that my husband is that way, right? Analytical during the day, but he's got a super creative side, right? I feel like, Sharon, you have a good balance of both too, right? But you need to be creative during your 9 to 5, right? So I think that helps with your balance all the time. But I think it's great.
It's great. What's interesting. So, and I shout the both of you out, right? Because Bianca, you certainly have a lot on your plate, and I've talked about Tasha having a lot on her plate. But to be able for both of you, and actually either one of you can answer this, right? For both of you to manage it all, right? Because I often say, like, there's a marketing term, right, called the busiest woman in the world, right?
Yeah.
Tasha fits that category. Bianca, I'd say you forget, right? Because she's got to take care of kids, she's got to get food on the table, she's got to all these things. She's got to go to work. She's got a husband, blah, blah, blah. She's a sister. She's a daughter, blah, blah, blah. Not that I'm sitting here just with bonbons, but you understand. Right. Right. Y'all got a couple more than I do. I respect that. And so what inspires you to take it all on and keep going? Like, and because I don't understand how y'all not passing out.
Well, I will say one of my greatest joys is being a mom. I love being a mom. Sometimes I feel like I'm like, God created me just to be a mom, and I only want one. Okay. She drives me crazy sometimes, but I truly believe like that was like my calling. And so it just kept me going no matter what. Like even, me having her young, I'm getting all emotional. No, seriously, like there were times when I went to school as an adult. So I was working a full-time job. She was 2 years old, and I would go to school at night, a full load, and I was able to graduate with honors. But my internship was in Baltimore. I went to school in Philly. I would drive in the morning down to Lake Mason to do my internship, which Dad helped me, get, and then I would go back to Philly. So I had a support circle, but what kept me going was just, my daughter. I have to do it. I have to do it. I got to make it. I got to finish my degrees. I got to get my job. I have to climb the corporate ladder. She has to go to these schools, and we have to do the extracurricular activities. It was just all about making her a well-rounded person and then being that example. So that is what really kept me going. And then two, I'm also a very spiritual person. So it's like my faith keeps me grounded, but my passion for being a mom just makes me want to do it all. And to be successful, to save, to secure a future for her, for generational wealth, it's important for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah, you said a mouthful there.
Yeah.
Very admirable.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So what advice would you give to someone who's feeling overwhelmed, but still has a passion to do something different in their life? Like, because that's a lot. Like, so what's your advice to that person?
Yeah. I would basically say, and to your point, I believe you said it earlier, just, be kind to yourself.
Amen.
Because a lot of times I think, especially as Black women, we wear S on our chest and we just get it done. Right. At the end of the day, we're going to figure it out. We're going to get it done. And with that comes a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Right. And I think sometimes, like, if we're not, you got to clean the house, you got to do this, you got to do that. And let's just say it's something that we don't do. We've got that pressure, like, oh, I didn't get this done. I didn't get this done. I didn't get this done. And then you kind of stress yourself out even more. Yeah. And I think the most important thing is to say, it's okay. Be present in that moment and stop thinking about what you have to do tomorrow or do in the next hour or what you didn't do, which that time is already passed. And just really, really focus on being present and being in that moment and say, it's going to be all right. Because we adapt, right? We're going to adapt. If something goes wrong, it's not going to be perfect.
Right.
We're going to figure it out. So try not, and because being overwhelmed is just natural, especially the state that we're in now with COVID. I mean, that in itself is just overwhelming.
It is.
I even found myself getting like, I can't take this anymore. And then I just had to like, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Meditate, breathe, and say, it's going to be all right. I don't have to do it all. But if I'm present, then the opportunity to do it all, it just may fall in place. Because if it's for you, it's for you, right? The universe, everything is going to come together and it's just fine.
The universe conspires to give you what you want.
Exactly. Or what you need. Because sometimes you're getting what you need and you don't even realize it.
Well, that's a whole nother word right there. It's a whole nother word.
What you need, and you don't even realize it until one day you're like, this whole time, you had no idea.
Yeah.
So you've been doing lots of promotions for your new book.
Yes, I have. I've been trying to get used to come out of my shell. I am an introvert, right? Even at work, I hide behind my computer. That's what I do. I'm in spreadsheets all day. When somebody wants to have a meeting and my camera is off, I'm like, nope, we can talk. You can email me. But I have been trying to get out with the COVID and, be more interactive on social media. So yes, I've been doing lots of promo for the new book.
And it comes out December 4th.
December 4th, yes.
Is this something that you're going to continue? Is, mom and businesswoman and author going to always be in your title? Do you have more books in you?
I hope so. You know, that's what I really want. It's so funny because Jasmine knows that I want to, hopefully downtown Baltimore, I want to like be a bookshop owner. Because I'm like, accounting, the reason why I did accounting and not like creative writing or the author is because I have my daughter. So I was like, everybody needs an accountant, right?
Okay.
I can always do that on the side. You know, eventually I want to have my little bookshop. You know, I want to have a space for like up and coming authors. I want to sell our books, our voices, which is very important to me.
Yes.
And maybe I'll do keeping some books on the side. I don't know, but I hope books continue to be in my future and that I can uplift other authors who are thinking about either going the traditional route or self-publishing, because that's a whole nother world. And that's a whole nother conversation. The self-publishing world. It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding, right? And
do you think that bookshops are in our future? You know, we're moving away from brick and mortars. A lot of people are moving more towards reading on an ebook, which your book is both paperback and ebook. Mm-hmm. You know, what's your thought process on an actual bookshop?
Believe it or not, like the large, the big boxes, that you see those closing down. Like you can hardly have a Barnes and Noble, but like in these small little neighborhoods, there are like those little boutique bookshops. And then of course I want to have the cafe and, make it fancy.
Yeah.
But I think there is definitely a future in it. I think sometimes people just want to go out, walk through the neighborhood and get a book. And I'm down in Locust Point, and I don't know one bookshop down here in Locust Point. And even in South Baltimore, like I don't know of any bookshops. And it's interesting. There is
Harbor East, or are you talking about Harbor East, or like Fort McHenry, or
South Baltimore, like where Cherry Hill, like where what's that? The Under Armour Kevin Plank, where he's building over there. Okay. And it's interesting because I was telling Jasmine, there's a bookstore in Brooklyn called the Lit Bar. She had amazing shop. If you ever get a chance, Google it and look it up. But she is the only bookstore in the Bronx. She's servicing all of the Bronx. If she didn't have that open, they would not have a bookstore. Could you imagine that many people and there's no books?
Wow. Yeah.
That's just crazy. So I want to have like a child literacy piece in there, Baltimore Reads. So I got this plan brewing in the back. You never know. You never know.
It makes me think of the movie Book of Eli. Did you see that movie? It with Denzel Washington.
Yes.
Right. And so that one was about one particular book, lots of themes in that movie, but it made me think about how books are becoming extinct almost. Yeah. So I know with my kids, they do have these tablets that have books on them.
Yes.
But I don't even encourage that. Right. Yeah. We do so much other stuff on the tablets, but I encourage, tangible books. I want you to touch the book and flip the pages. And so shout out to you to, keeping that alive. I think that alive. And I want to have a library. All the important people that I see on all these meetings and stuff now, they've got these expansive bookcases behind them, right? I need a bookcase.
Listen, if you could see my office right now, you don't even have seen it. Yeah. There's a whole bookcase. I got books.
Yeah.
Now the crazy thing is I can't say I read them all the time, but I got them. I do have them.
I do a mix. I'll have some on my Kindle. I'll do because I also support local libraries, which I think is very important. So I'll do that. And then I also have the audiobook, and then I have my physical. There are some where I'm like, I just have to have the physical book. So I'll do that. Yeah.
Well, Bianca, we have come to the portion of our conversation.
Okay.
Where we do a inside the actor studio sort of round robin of questions. This is Tasha's part of the show.
Okay.
Tasha, one day we have to do it with you and I.
I thought about that.
I know. We think alike.
My mom watches this. I can't talk about curse words.
I think the same way, right? That's crazy. I could say it if I want to. But anyway, so we'll have Tasha's going to ask you 11 questions so we get to know you better.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. What is your favorite word?
Sidelined.
Very good.
Very good. Very good. What is your least favorite word?
Irregardless. Can you believe they actually made it a word?
It's a word. It's a word.
It's not a word.
I'm tired of all of the people saying it's not a word.
They've officially made it a word.
It's a word.
The other day.
No. It's been in there for a long time.
It's not a word.
It's been in there. It's been in the dictionary for a long time. I digress.
I'm with you. That's 2 against 1. Next question. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Music for all three. Definitely music.
All right. And what turns you off?
Arguing.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
You grown. You can say it. You can say it.
Like, everything is what the fuck.
You can say it if you want. Yes, you can.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound of the rain.
Okay.
Really?
What sound or noise do you hate?
Now, not a torrential downpour, but just nice little rain.
All right. What sound or noise do you hate?
I don't like the thunder that comes with the rain.
Okay. That's fair.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt? So accounting and author, something other than those two.
Yeah. Besides, and of course, a bookshop owner, I would definitely try teaching.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably like
Bless you.
school age, like the grade, what is that? The grade school, not middle school, but like
Elementary school.
elementary school. That's what
Nice. And what profession would you not like to try?
Waitressing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who or what holds you accountable?
My daughter holds me accountable. Just that responsibility of being a mom and her, she holds me accountable, and God.
Amen.
Yeah.
If you believe in heaven,
Yes.
what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well done. My good and faithful servant.
Yeah.
Guys.
Amen.
Amen.
All right,
It's a pleasure.
It has. But
Yeah.
before we go, tell
Yeah.
everyone again about the book, the name of the book, where they can get the book, what they should
Yeah.
know about the book. Tell us.
Yeah. So my third book, and I'll see if I have a little picture up here. It's called Sideline the Contract. It is part 3 of the Sideline trilogy, which is
Wait, you have the book? Are you holding the book up? Can you hold the
Nope.
book up?
I'm gonna pull it on my phone because it's still in the mail because of COVID. Can you believe that?
Wait a minute. The author don't have her own book.
Listen, is they talking about
Sharon?
Huh?
no, it's light on light. You can't see it.
Yeah. We can't see it. Okay.
Nope. No.
All right. So Sideline the Contract.
Sideline the Contract. If you follow me on Instagram at BWill Books, you can see the cover. But about an up and coming event planner who lands her first client, which happens to be an NFL superstar, and makes the ultimate rookie mistake of mixing business with pleasure. It is through events, and part 1 and part 2 are available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold. So if you have an iPhone, you can download it on iBooks, and if you have an Android, you can download it on Google Books. And check out my website. Follow me on Instagram. I am most active on Instagram at BWill Books, and we'll do giveaways and have all type of exciting conversations leading up to the release, which is December 4th.
December 4th.
December 4th. One last thing. I do have one last question.
Yes.
If you were to make this into a movie,
And
who would you want to play you, and who would you want to be your inspired love interest?
so originally,
And who would play your best friend? And who would play your best friend?
my cast, I did have like a whole cast. So I will say for myself, it was or Bryn, sorry, the character Bryn.
Sure. Brent. Yeah.
Pastor Thompson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Shane, my dream Shane was to be played by Chadwick Boseman. But unfortunately, he's no longer with us. So I haven't thought about like who that guy is. I think I'm gonna watch a bunch of Tyler Perry movies because for some reason he's able to find like the hottest Black men alive and put them in his movies. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for some like up and coming, hot black guy. For Jen's character, I would like Tika Sumter. I think she would be a great Jen. So yeah.
Okay. Has Tika Sumter done comedy?
No, I don't know, but she did that movie with Whoopi Goldberg and Tiffany Haddish, and I was just like, she could totally do Jen. I think she could totally. Yeah.
Yeah, not Jasmine. Yeah. Okay.
The character.
Yeah, the character.
Yeah.
And Tika does Grownish. That's not. I mean, that's kind of a fun show.
Tika doesn't do Grownish.
Isn't she the mom?
Oh, on Grownish. I'm sorry, I was thinking Blackish. My bad.
Okay.
Oh no, Mixed-ish. I meant Mixed-ish. She's the mom on there, right?
Girl, I don't know. You be doing too much.
She's in like a lot of those Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah, she does a lot of Tyler Perry shows.
Yes.
But so Bianca, I want to say, so everyone, we have Bianca Williams. We have her Facebook on there, Facebook Bianca Williams, on Instagram @BWillBooks. Her new book comes out December 4th. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on what'd you say?
Barnes & Noble,
Barnes & Noble,
iBooks, Google Books, all of that.
As always, you can follow Tasha and I on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are the Accountability Queens. Bianca, thank you so much for being our guest tonight. And please, everyone watching, everyone, cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers to your new book.
Cheers.
Cheers. Everyone watching, please join us next week at 6:00. We'll have someone else fabulous. Good night, everybody. It's been fun.
Good night.
Bye-bye.